I went a couple times and he was like, all right, we're gonna take some videos. I guess they were sending them to this guy, Jeff Christensen, who's actually Patrick Mahomes' quarterback trainer. One of the guys handed me the phone and it was Jeff on the phone. It's always fun being around Miles, and I'm glad we got to come to the same school, and it's always been a friendship we've had, and then keeping that friendship going here, and we were roommates the first semester, so that was fun, and just hanging out, doing whatever.
What are your memories from the first semester here, rooming together?
Just like whenever we had free time on the weekends, just hanging out with it was just us four. It was us two and then two other people we would hang out with in the dorms, just hanging out, talking with each other. And then like after practice or anything, we could just go in each other's room, watch film, see what we need to work on, things like that.
I think that's one of the things that kind of helped you guys acclimate to here was the fact that you had that familiarity coming in.
For sure. Coming in as a walk-on, I didn't know, I was just trying to make the travel squad coming in, like over the summer. I was like, I just want to be part of the team, do whatever. And, getting out there on the field, I'm nervous. It's first time, I haven't played quarterback in 3 years. And, coming out here and I'm like, Miles is my guy. And I've always, had a connection with Miles. And so just looking for Miles whenever I'm out there on the field, it kind of gives you a little safety blanket out there. And, whenever I'm stressed out or anything, just get the ball to Miles.
How much work were you guys doing outside of practice together also? Because you obviously have the connection, probably gave you an easy person to go throw balls with when you weren't practicing.
Yeah, I mean, even back at home, second semester before we came up here, it was multiple times a week we'd be out there on the field throwing, and we'd go home over the weekend, over the summer, and throw there too whenever we'd go home on the weekend. And I mean, that just kind of shows showed in the bowl game, our first ever touchdown was to each other. It's just, that's a trust we have with each other and just a connection. We always know we're going to be on the same page.
And then, Miles, you probably committed to UNT first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was going to UNT, was Miles a big factor in your decision to go to UNT?
Yes, it was, but also, I didn't really have many choices coming out of high school. For a while, I was debating going to a junior college out in California. And then, I called the coach and told him, I want to come play football for y'all. And I was fully ready to go play JUCO football out in California. And then Sam Houston, my tight end coach in high school, was roommates with one of the Sam Houston coaches. And he was like, come down, give this guy a look, talk to him, whatever. And so they did, and they offered me a walk-on spot. And then UNT came in really late and told me, we might have a spot for you. And obviously having Miles there, and then with Coach Morris and the success they have with offenses here, it was a no-brainer.
How'd you get to a point where a school of this caliber would want you even in the quarterback room? Because it's a pretty crazy thing to think about that, you're in the American Conference, walk-on or not, in a quarterback room after not taking a snap of meaningful high school football really ever at that position.
Yeah. A whole second semester, my senior year, I was just kind of training on my own and just doing whatever I could, what I thought would, get me ready for college football. And then I got an Instagram DM from this coach saying he's going and training quarterbacks at Lake Travis High School. And I'm like, sure, I'll go throw. I don't know, I'm just not doing anything else, so might as well. And so I show up and I'm like, this guy seems legit. He knows what he's talking about. Feel like I'm throwing the ball good. And so I went a couple times and he was like, all right, we're going to take some videos. And they were taking videos of me, and I guess they were sending them to this guy, Jeff Christensen, who's actually Patrick Mahomes' quarterback trainer, and he's up here in the area. One time after the workout, one of the guys training me there at Lake Travis handed me the phone, and it was Jeff on the phone, and I was like, I recognized him from that quarterback Netflix show.
Oh, yeah.
I recognized him from that, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And I didn't know what was going on. He was like, what do you say we get you up here and we, you know, get you throwing with me a little bit." And I was like, "That sounds good to me." So came up here, threw with him, and he's real good friends with Coach Morris, and he told him, he was like, "This guy's legit." So I'm so grateful for Jeff to give me in the door here and give me an opportunity. And I've always felt like I've had the skills to play at this level and just needed someone to take a chance on me, and they did, and I'm so grateful for it.
You're a walk-on heading into the season. What was it that you were able to do to work your way from walk-on to a place in the depth chart, were able to get the opportunity to play in that game by the end of the season and even get in a game like we talked about before the interview started in Texas Tech? Because that's just, I think the most impressive thing you did wasn't even what you did in the bowl game, but was to get to the point
Yeah.
on the depth chart to be able to play in the bowl game in the first place.
I mean, coming in, I was probably QB6, QB5. Whenever I showed up on campus, and my thing was like, I'm not gonna earn the backup spot in one day. Like you just gotta stack days, and I tried to do everything I could, whether that was showing up to extra stuff, giving it my all in the weight room, trying to be a leader. The new guys, even though we were all figuring it out, like we didn't know what was going on. We were just trying to get through it and trying to learn what it's like to be a college athlete. But just trying my best to just stack days. And I've always had the confidence that like I'm a good quarterback, and like not playing didn't like beat down that confidence. But just trying to come in and be the best quarterback I could and be the best leader I could, just trying to show the coaches that I belong, and just stack great days on top of each other.
What do you think the moment was, Miles, where like people started to figure out that Drew might have a future?
I think like most of the coaches and most of the players knew like within the first week. Um, I had a bunch of the coaches come up to me like, "This dude was the backup this year." uh, but yeah, I mean, I've known for a while now that he's like he can be one of the best quarterbacks ever, and his confidence and the way he goes about his business. I just feel like that's what makes him great. And yeah, everyone here, they knew he was special because like every day he would, I mean, right here, right in the bucket. And then we had a scrimmage before the Texas Tech game. Just a young guy scrimmage. And me and Drew played in this game. This was before we kind of made a name for ourselves. And I think it was like the fifth play. And he checks a slot fade to me. He throws it about, I don't know, 50 to 60 yards, right in stride. And I think right after that, I heard the coaches talking. And Coach Morris was like, "We gotta get, we gotta find a way to get these two on the field somehow." And just since there, I mean, it's been awesome.